Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Starting first with a minor correction to last week's update, namely me naming the wrong country in the name of a dead Kennedy's reference, because YCS Medellin is in Colombia, not in Cambodia. If you want an explanation as to how it is that happened, something Yu-Gi-Oh! Players and literacy, and much more accurately, I knew there was a YCS taking place, the country's name started with a C, and when writing the script I thought of a dead Kennedy's reference. Does that excuse it? No. And my apologies to anyone upset by that front, but there you go. In some other big event news, meanwhile, there's the quarter-century celebration that has been officially announced by Konami, a stream to take place on their official YouTube and Twitch channels, starting on February 16th at 9 a.m., running through to February 18th until midnight, with a time set in the glorious PST. This will feature, among the promised 32 hours of iconic anime episodes, 3 separate tournaments. One invitational for Master Duel, an invitational for Duel Links, and for the TCG there's the undisputed Ultimate Duelist Series Championship. The Master Duel Invitational will feature 8 chosen content creators, as shown here, including a possible rematch between Jesse Cotton and Joshua Schmidt after their inconclusive duel at the Master Duel World Finals earlier this year. And by earlier this year, I mean last year. Time is the enemy. As the kids say, that sounds pretty poggerific. And by as the kids say, I mean as the kids don't say. I literally misread the script there. And speaking of Jesse Cotton, he'll also be in the undisputed UDS. This will have top players from all the previous UDS events, and that means we're looking at really the best of the best players from the entirety of the TCG. Also known as probably some of the best duels we can look forward to watching in regards to competitive quality, let's say. All on a weekend-long stream with intermittent anime and probably some promos for upcoming sets. It's really not a bad way to spend a weekend for both the meta heads and anime enthusiasts. And just imagine all the people who tune in to watch Yugi summon a Magnet Warrior and then have to watch Jeff Jones perform a 6-minute full combo first turn uninterrupted. You know the comments in regards to that are going to be nothing but productive. This past weekend, meanwhile, was the first YCS of 2024, the Latin America Remote Duel YCS. Konami reported some 320 duelists logging into Discord to compete for the first ever crown in 2024. Is that a Fall Guys reference? God, I hope not. The event has, of course, shockingly little to go over in regards to information from Konami, but thanks to the community at large, we do at least have some data that's worth looking at. Huge shoutouts to, as always, Lampy Yugioh, who has not only provided the community with the best tracking of tops from EU regionals in general, but also gave me the deets of our YCS here. And by me, I mean everyone. I just looked at his Twitter. Take a look at that top 32 right there. We're looking at 15 unique decks, with Labyrinth coming out on top for a representation with a grand total of 5. 4 apiece to Fire King and Rescue Ace, and just a fucking smattering of everything else. Can Sprite top? They can do it thrice. Can Tier top? Well, they'll do it twice. And that's an Orcus deck that topped as well. Nice. This is a wide-ass format in regards to competitive viability, and it stayed wide moving on into top 16 with 9 separate decks moving on through. No Phantom Knight past top 32, but I mean that was bound to break up at some point, wasn't it? This trend follows the top tables here, with the big dogs like Fire King and Rescue Ace and Labyrinth slowly being pushed out by, of all things, Tearlaments and Vanquished Souls in the finals. And that gives us the winner of the event, Tearlaments, as piloted by Rafael Reich of Brazil. Konami used this photo of him to announce the win, but I believe that this photo does a little bit better in capturing the look of a winner, at least I would say. And yes, Tearlament's Strongest is now confirmed to be a thing carrying over into 2024, much to the dismay of, I don't know, Redditors. People love to hate Tearlament, and this is yet another reason for those folks to do so. So, sick. And there's also yet another reminder that Vanquished Soul is a solid deck and will continue to not be affordable for a good while. And since there's always some amount of discussion about the validity of both Latin American events as well as remote duel ones, we'll take a quick peek at results from various EU regionals and opens and other such events, with again shoutouts to Lampy Yugioh for the information. The format does look very similar to that top 32 all in all. Vanquish Soul and Unchained and Tyr and Orcust, and everything's just showing that the gang's all here. And by the gang, I mean like God knows how many decks. And that fat chunk of other can reliably be assumed to include something like Phantom Knight and Trap Tricks. Hell, look at how many branded tops there are in Europe. That's just disgusting. So disgusting, in fact, I'm glad it ties in beautifully to this next segment, because while this format has settled into its current state, it's about to be shaken up, because there's new product coming this month, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of that. February of 2024 brings with it 3 sets to look forward to, or to not give a shit about at all for, depending on who you are and what it is you like, I suppose. February 22nd will be the notable reprint set for this month, offering reprints from various Battles of Legends sets. Light's Revenge, Relentless Revenge, Hero's Revenge, and Armageddon's Revenge is what it should have been named. Those 4 sets have themselves been reprint sets in part, so surely this should have a good number of cards for a good number of people. Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, and even Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation were all included in some of those sets, so that's neat. I mean, we're looking at cards whose current prices range from, I don't really want to pay $15 for a rank 7 deck that 3 decks can play, you know, with Dark Arm there, and it goes all the way up to when the fuck did Photon Lord become a $50 card? Apparently it's been like that for a while. There's not much confirmed as I'm recording this, but at the very least, Chaos Emperor and Photon Lord are among certainties, as well as Yugioh, which is a pretty well-timed reprint. Cyber / Harpy and the one-of-a-kind Astral Glyph Utopia is no longer one-of-a-kind with this set being reprinted, so fascinating choice by Konami on that front, but all in all, should be promising, should be decent, if nothing else. Again, that's coming on the 22nd, following OTS Pack 2024. An appropriate start to the OTS packs for the year 24 in 2024. All we know as of yet is an ultimate rare printing of Rock of the Vanquisher, providing players who want to play Vanquish Soul on a budget with absolutely nothing but I guess a metaphorical middle finger, and fans of the deck with some spare cash a dope-looking ulti. Or at least I would think so. That's the only confirmed ulti thus far for the set, or a card in general, but that's an OTS pack. We can look forward to 2 more ultimate rares, 10 supers, and 14 commons, as is tradition. And, you know, provided your OTS store isn't in Australia, because Australia doesn't get OTS packs on time, as I found out. It sucks to suck, I guess. Rip to the Australians, F's in the chat. And most notably of all in regards to reprints, Phantom Nightmare. And by reprints, I mean new products. What is speaking? The next core set of the game will be dropping on February 8th, which is next week as I'm making this video. The biggest shakeup to our meta by far, as with Maze of Millennia's Bonfire and the now popular and Promethean Princess, the Year of Fire is set to really and truly begin. The Fire deck is posed to be the best deck of the format, or most would agree upon it. This should be something of a closer on the width, a closer being a closer on the width of the format, and that is to say, don't be shocked if in the coming weeks the top cuts have less of those straggler decks, with the power level of this new one pushing the lower decks out of the way. Rip to the Phantom Knights, shame you had to brick all those times. And that's next week, so if you're loving this big old pile of decks, make sure you go out and enjoy locals this weekend, because it's about to change, whether that'll be popular or not. And taking a quick look at some of the prices for cards from Phantom Nightmare, the prize secret from this set is the Voiceless level 1. Yeah, low, I think is the TCG name, going for about $60 USD on Gamer's Choice, no affiliation. After that, it's $50 a piece for both Poplar and the Fire Princess, both having been ultra slots to my own surprise. After that, the drop-off is steep, with the Black Goat Laughs being an insane name, and a $20 secret rare, and the Saphira Humanoid Abomination rocking about $15. And after that, anything that's not a quarter-century secret rare seems to be pre-ordering for about $10 or less. And speaking of those quarter-century secret rares, to no shock, the big money winners are, of course, the Promethean Princess, rocking $550, with Poplar being about $250. Again, these are pre-order prices from Gamer's Choice. All in all, seems like people who know more than me consider this likely to be a bit of a dud set in regards to value moving forward, with so few valuable chase secret rares that you know, you can't really hope to break even on a box unless you pull those exact specific cards, which discourages buying of boxes, which it's a whole problem in the market, let me tell you. Still, beyond that awful news in regards to the value of the box long term, you can look forward to it in 2024, February 8th, because that's what we've got going for us. Fire meta, here we come. Oh, maybe Voiceless will be affordable enough for me, he said, huffing lethal weapons grade of copium. Moving on to some lighter news, the Light Duelist Pack has been officially announced by Konami, rounding out the attribute packs we've been receiving these last couple of years. Duelists of Brilliance, as it's being called in the OCG, will release on the 25th of May this year in the OCG. No other information is known as of yet, not even a single archetype or card that will be in it, but we know that it'll have 3 light archetypes from various anime series. What is speaking? Why can't they do it today? Blue Eyes, Cyber Dragon, and Photon? How hyped do you think people would be if those were the 3 decks? Almost certainly not, but my god, the comments. Some might dream of it, but my prediction is, actually, truthfully, I was going to say that it's anime-only decks, so don't expect something like Star Seraph, but thankfully I did a modicum of research before doing this, and it turns out I think Star Seraph is an anime deck, and it's more than just stick and chair, so who the fuck knew that? More accurately, it's on the anime deck, so don't expect something like Lightsworn. I don't know, maybe Cyber Angels? Typically you have 3 duelists, players, persons from the various anime series. So one from DM and one from GX and one from Zexal, or maybe not from GX, but instead from 5. Well, the 3 random anime people that played light decks. Go ahead and speculate. Lord knows I don't have a fucking clue. But it's get hyped. It's the year of light, maybe. Hopium. The light at the end of the tunnel? Is that the joke we're going for? Who fucking knows? I'm so scatterbrained on this. Let's just move on. Moving on to the sponsor of this week's video. That's right, thanks as always to LIFD for the ongoing support, the #1 way to support my channel currently, and the true duelist way to support my channel and show off your cards and other such things and other such phrases. This is a fantastic little way to show off some of your favorite pieces of cardboard, be it Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or a bag of chips is literally what I'm about to say. How's that for fucking comedy? Either way, whatever you want to display, whether you want the 3 set or the 1 piece, you can go ahead and use promo code YGOStrats15 at checkout for a 15% discount, or you can click the link in the description of this video. Thanks as always to LAFD for the ongoing support, and of course thank you for watching. And that'll wrap it up for this week's update. As always, I've been your host, me Fee. Yep, that's me. Thanks as always. I'm saying it again. Please hit subscribe, because if you do, the number goes up, and that makes me happy. And also, you'll be impressing your smoking Italian wife. Oh, you don't want to impress her? Come on, get on it. And also, Gdoy, you become a true duelist. And you may even join the True Duelist Emporium. Discord link in the description. That's it. That's the whole video. I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna go now. Peace.